And so I commend everyone that is here. The fact that you're here shows that you have a desire for knowledge, and this is like the first step. Just being here is the first step, and I know that just taking this step is going to give us the kind of exponential increase we want in our business. Praise God. So I'd like to say that the difference between you and the next person you admire or you want to be like is the knowledge. There's something that I believe, I used to say that nobody is special. The only thing that makes that person special is the knowledge that the person has, is the understanding that the person has that makes the person special. And I've come to see that sometimes we know, and then because we know, we don't transform it. Okay, so are we hearing what I'm saying?
Yes, we can hear you, ma.
Okay,
Yes,
so I should just go ahead and just be talking. Okay, so sometimes because you know, you think that you're doing, but the Bible says that's which Jesus began to do, to do and to teach. So we are first to do before we teach. But then I've come to realize that most times we start by teaching. You just want to know so you can just prove that you know, or you just want to know so you can show that you know. You don't want to know so you can be able to use it for your life. So I want to correct that notion. I want to correct it and let us know that every knowledge you have is first for you. The Bible says the husbandman is the first partaker. So every knowledge you have should first transform you before you project it to others. I used to hear people sometimes in church, like the pastor is preaching and you're shouting, talk to them, preach it, all those things. But it's not about them. It's you. So sometimes you're reading the Bible and you're getting rhema and you're thinking of how you're going to go and use it to talk to somebody, or how you're going to go and use it to prove a point. No, it's first you. So everything I'm saying today, please call your business name. As I'm talking, make sure that you're narrowing it down to your business. So whatever I'm teaching, I'm also learning too as I'm teaching. And as I'm teaching, I'm also seeing how whatever I'm saying is going to be used in sweetness cakes. So whatever your business name is, just think about your business name as we're taking this session, and also make sure that you're thinking as we're taking this session. Now, I also want to let you know that business is not for lazy people. Being an entrepreneur, if you want to succeed as an entrepreneur, you can't be lazy, because it takes you thinking. So this session is going to have a lot of thinking. I have come to realize that at the end of seminar, sometimes we're just excited, we've learned something new, but we don't think, so there's no way to apply it to our day-to-day activity or to our businesses. So please, everything I'm saying, if you want by next year to see growth in your business, ensure that you're thinking of your business, and nobody's going to think for you. Nobody's going to give you the ideas that you want. You have to use your brain. So in everything we're doing today, please, everybody use your brain. So
Yes, ma.
all right. So the first thing I want to establish is that the world is an ever-changing world. And so things keep changing every day. We already know that. I want us to state, can somebody state like 10 differences, 10 things that have changed? No, let's not say 10. 10 is too much, but let's say two or three things that have changed in the world in the last 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Prices of commodities.
oh my God. Okay, that's one. Prices of commodities have changed.
Yes, ma.
What else?
Okay. Job opportunities. More
Okay,
hacking.
that's very big.
Yes.
That's very big. When I ask for things that have changed, I want it to be as precise. Like, for example, let me say something that has changed. 10 years ago, although 10 years is still not so far, but people were more selling physically. Like, people
Yeah.
were having stores. But now something has changed, that people sell online now. Yes, so I want it to be that precise.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, the
So,
second thing will
who's
be
going?
okay. Since I've said one, let me open the floor to
Okay,
someone else.
and I like that one you said. The first one you said is prices have been, i- inflation is taking
Yeah,
place. And so we can see how that is affecting our businesses because as prices keep going up, it's affecting your business, right?
yeah, yeah,
Exactly. So the reason why I'm asking for this feedback is so we can see that as the world is changing, it's having a direct effect on our businesses. So I want another example of something that has changed.
Yeah,
Okay, good
can
evening,
I
ma'am.
try?
Good evening.
Last year we were, last in the last 10 years, copywriters used to think through before they'd make their writing, and people used to do things manually. But now we have technology that's giving us Chat GPT and other AI functions that will help with doing that.
Mm. So you've just brought an important change that's happened in the last 2 3 years, which is the introduction of AI chat GDP. Now, with this introduction, it's going to affect businesses. Some people are going to lose their businesses, and then some people are going to use it to their advantage, right? Which is what you stated, that some people now are using chat GPT for their copywriting. Meanwhile, in some organizations, some people are going to lose their work because the organization is going to be using chat GTP, right?
yeah.
Exactly. So the change is constant, the world is changing, and as the world is changing, so also you are changing. Who is going to state two? Okay, let me just say two people should state something that has changed about them in the last 10 years.
Hmm. Can I try or can I go first?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, so I realized that I am more I think very independently now because I can really go online and get information that I want to get and then just use it for my own personal consumption. So unlike
Wow.
before where you have to ask someone to teach you things, if you go online now, the information is readily available. So self thoughts skills
So you
if I'm
see that is very important. I taught last year on how you must study yourself. So even as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, you must be self-aware. You must understand yourself. You must understand the things that are changing about you, because the person that you were 5 years ago is not the person that you are today. And so if you're going to improve on your business, you must understand yourself. So you must learn about yourself. So as you're learning about the way the world is changing, you're also learning about your own self. So you can be able to make a collaboration between the things that are changing in you and the things that are changing in the world, so you can grow your business. Does that make any sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that
Yes.
make any sense? Okay. So let's quickly. Sorry, I wrote down my notes, so I'm actually reading from my notes. Okay, so as a business owner, right, you must have that ability to project, like to think into the future and try to understand this business that you're running and how the change that is taking place would affect your business. So when you start your business, most times we just start this business because maybe, oh, I'm passionate about baking, or because I saw somebody who is selling clothes, or maybe I saw somebody who is a tailor, and that is how you found yourself in that line of business. So I was saying that when you start growing a business, right? Some of us didn't start with a business plan. You have no idea what your business is going to look like in the next 10 years. You have no idea what profit you want to make out of the business. You have no idea how the capacity of that business. You don't know what that business is worth. You don't know what that business can become. So these are things that you must know before you start a business. So as business owners now, is a challenge I'm throwing at us now, that if you're a baker now, go back and understand why you're in the baking industry. Go back and understand how long you want to play in this industry. Go back and understand how much income you want to make from this industry, because that's what's going to be your driving force. If you're just doing it, because I just want extra cash, then it's not going to grow into something that your children can inherit. It's not going to grow into something that can sustain your lifestyle, because the purpose of a business is to... Okay, what's the purpose of a business? Let me throw the question back at us. What is the purpose of a business?
Okay.
Okay, now for me, in its simple terms, the
Mm-hmm.
purpose of business is making impact while earning profit.
Making...
Impact while earning profits.
Okay. Who else wants to go? Making impact while making profit. Those are very vague. So when I ask questions, I want it to be very, very detailed. Like, let me give an example of an answer that I would like to hear. So, the purpose of running a business is so I can be able to afford the kind of life I want to live. I can be able to afford the kind of house I want to live in. I can be able to pay school fees for people. I can be able to afford school fees for my children. I can be able to live the dream life that I want. You get? So when you say making impact, what does impact mean to you? What does profit mean to you? So these are vague. Like, you can't run a business in vague terms. You can't. Okay. So please, what is the purpose of your business? Somebody who understands and wants to answer this question. So I am not saying that your answer is not correct, but I'm just saying that it's not clear. You know, the Bible says, write the vision, make it plain, so that the person who sees it can run with it. Now, if you're talking in vague terms, that shows that you can't pass that vision to your employees. You can't pass the vision to your staff. You can't pass the vision to your children. So it shows that there's work. You have to go back and ask yourself, what is this business doing for me? What is the purpose of this business? So it's a question that we must answer. Should I just excuse us and leave that question?
Okay,
No,
I want
ma'am.
to contribute.
Okay.
Okay, all right, Sam, listen.
Okay, the purpose of running business for me is I, I, I love the idea of helping people, and I don't want people around me to be stranded. So purely, I do business so that I can make money and make sure that anybody that's connected to me is not stranded in life, be it money, their children, or whatever it is. I love helping people and make sure that nobody around me is stranded. That's why I'm into business.
Okay, that's good. That's great. Just like the
Can
first
I go
question.
as well? Okay.
Yes, please.
All right. So my idea of business, is to make a lot of money. I love good lifestyle. I love to drive big cars. I've imagined the car I would drive. I know the house I will live. I know the kind of gold I will use, and I'm very specific about it. In short, I was telling my husband that I should be changing a house in the next 5 years. That is how specific I am, because every time I close my eyes, I know how I want to look. and I'm working towards that. So my business should be able to pay my bills as well as help others. I love helping others, but I have to help others the way I help myself. So yeah.
Very good answer. Okay, so now the reason why I made us go through this exercise is because I want us to understand the cost dimension of our business. Because if you don't understand the cost dimension of your business, then you won't be motivated to learn how to grow the business. You won't be motivated to learn how to sustain the business. Now, let's say I, as a person, right, I'm thinking of living in a house that is worth, let's assume I want to rent a house that is worth 10 million naira. I want to be able to afford clothes that are worth, let's say, every Sunday I have a type of way I want to dress every Sunday, and that's every Sunday is 100K that I want to dress. And I'm just putting figures that are realistic. 100K times 50, 2 Sundays, that's how much? 100K times 52 Sundays.
5.2.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
5.2.
let's add it to that 10 million.
You said?
Let's add it to that 10 million. That's 15 million.
15
Then let's say
point.
there's a hairstyle I want to do. There's the school fees for my children. Like, so when you start putting all these figures to your business, right? It starts telling you that you cannot be selling puff puff on a low scale. You get it starts to tell you that if I want to make this kind of income, then there are things I need to learn to help me make this kind of income. But when you just wake up in the morning and you just feel, oh, today's another day, oh, whether I sell this puff puff today or I don't sell this puff puff today, we move on. Then there's no drive because you don't know the figures you're looking at. Right?
Yeah.
So that's why I took us back to, because I don't want it to just be a class where we just talk good things and then there's no urgency, there's no understanding of where we're going to or what we're going to do with our business. Now, to know a sustainable business or a business that you should launch in, just like my co-speaker said yesterday, you should go and study the industry that you're in. So she was saying that the skincare industry is $1 billion industry. There's money in that industry, and that's why she jumped in. You can't go into an industry because you feel that this is what is trending now. You must understand the industry. You must say, okay, so I'm a baker. How much do bakers earn? How much is the let's say like Cake Boss now? How much is he worth? Then it shows you and it gives you an idea that there is way in this industry, and that if I continue and if I learn the things that he has learned and I do the things that he has done, I'll be able to make income from this industry. Am I making any sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our first assignment is to go that industry that you have chosen. I want to know, you should go and find out what that industry is worth. The first top 5 people in the US, in the UK, in Nigeria, in whatever, in your state, go and see how much they're making. Then you would know if it is an industry that you should invest your time and your energy in, because we are doing this thing for the long run. You don't want to start baking and then 10 years down the line, you are jumping from baking to makeup. 10 years into makeup, you're jumping from makeup into skincare, right? We don't want to do that. So the first knowledge that you must understand or learn is to understand the industry that you're in, the pioneers of the industry, how much are they worth, how much is the possibility of that industry. Does that make any sense? I believe you're hearing me, Sha. That makes sense, right?
Yes, it makes sense.
Exactly. So the next thing you
Yes,
will
ma'am.
do is to, like I said, the world is changing, right? So you must be able to go into the future, project and see the possibilities of the future for that industry that you're in. So let's use natural hair, for example. There was a time where everybody was relaxing their hair. No, let's not say everybody, but majority of the people I grew up with were relaxing their hairs. Our mothers didn't understand how to maintain natural hair. So most of us, once you just get stressed out and they don't understand, they put relaxer on your hair. But now the hair industry, especially the Afro hair industry, is now is an industry, is a niche on its own. Is an industry that is making a lot of money, and it's something that somebody pioneered. Before now, people were relaxing their hair. That was the only like go-to for hair. But now, before now, we didn't even know that Afro hair could grow all the way to your waist, to your bum. Like, we didn't know all of that. But then now we are seeing a lot of people who have grown their Afro hair to different lengths, like lengths that they want. And it's somebody who projected into the future and understood that, okay, if you take care of this thing in this particular way, it's going to give this particular result. And when you get this particular result, you can now demand money for products, and people will be willing to pay for that product. Right? Am I making sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. So in your industry, you should be able to go ahead and think ahead and say, okay, what are the possibilities of this industry in the future? And it's very easy. These are things that you can Google. AI is there. You can ask AI questions about whatever industry it is that you are in. Now, there are two types of people. We have the initiators, like who are the pioneers. And which is why every time I keep saying you must understand yourself as a business owner. So there are two types of people. There are people who are pioneers, who are creators, who are initiators. And then these people are very creative. They know how to sleep, dream, and come up with great ideas. And you just be like, wow, how did this person come up with this idea? If you're a pioneer here, please, I want to hear you. Just say pioneer. If you're a pioneer, you know yourself based on observation. You would know that I as a person, I'm a very creative person. Is there anybody who is a pioneer?
Yes, I am.
Okay, exactly. Of course, you're a pioneer. That's why you're running this meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so understanding yourself and understanding your strengths helps you to channel your energy to the things that matter. So if you're a pioneer, you know that you use your mental energy creating, right? So as a baker, if I'm a pioneer baker, I should spend time creating designs. So if you go online, you would see, now talking about the baking industries, there are a lot of pioneers. I'll call somebody like a Dripples. If those are bakers here, they will understand what I'm talking about. Somebody like a Dripples is a pioneer. You would see from the designs that she creates that these designs are not imitations of anybody. This is somebody who has settled down to dream, think, plan, and create this idea. There are people that are foreigners too. There's Pauline Cakes of Dubai. There's Todd, Anushk. Like, they are all these foreign people that I follow. There's this guy that works with chocolate art. There's nobody who hasn't followed. See, that guy, I think he has over 10 million followers on Instagram. And that is because of the creativity that he comes up with. So if you're a pioneer and an initiator, you must study yourself and understand how this creativity comes to you, and then understand how you're going to project this creativity to the world. Because most times, as creativities and creative people and pioneers, you have that idea in your head, but to move that idea from your head to execute it is the problem. Yeah. So after today, I want you to sit down and understand yourself and ask yourself questions. Am I a pioneer? If I'm a pioneer, then why am I not doing something new? Why am I not creating something? The next set of people are the imitators. So I would call you a copycat. And there's nothing wrong with being a copycat. The most important thing is understanding yourself. If you understand yourself and you say, oh, my strength is this, because the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. Is it the Bible that said it? Is it Bible? I can't even remember. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
but there's this thing, I think the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So it's just said that whatever it is that you're copying, somebody has done it before. The person who is even being a pioneer, there is somebody who this platform is not the only women entrepreneurial platform. There are so many other platforms. So that you're a pioneer in something does not mean that you're the first or that you're the only person doing it. So being a copycat too, it takes a lot of wisdom and understanding to be a copycat, right? So you understand your strengths. And so when I say understand your strengths, I'm sure that it looks like I'm not talking about learning, but yes, for me, my greatest strength as an entrepreneur is learning myself and understanding myself. So I would always come back to, first of all, you knowing who you are, you learning yourself, you understanding yourself and knowing that, okay, these are my strengths. These are my weaknesses. I'm going to channel my strengths to my advantage. If I'm a pioneer, I'm going to put in my time, my energy, my effort. If it means studying myself to understand that how does this creativity come to me? So some people is like in the dream. You sleep in the night and you have a dream and then you see a creative cake idea. You start to write it down, because if you don't write it down, that is how your creativity comes to you. You're not writing. Over time, you're going to lose it. So the first step is to understand yourself. Learn yourself. Say, who am I? And it's unfortunate that these are things that our parents should have started doing for us from an early age. So like my children now, I'm already learning them. I'm also teaching them how to learn themselves, you get. So as you're learning, you're writing about your children. It's something you pass on to them. As they grow older, you write things about them that you've observed. And so it's like something that they carry into their future that helps them to say, okay, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, these are things that I need to work on. So you can't be an entrepreneur without understanding yourself and learning yourself. So am I a pioneer? Am I an imitator? If you're a pioneer, embrace it and understand how these creative ideas come to you. If you're a copycat, embrace it and say, okay, so I don't know how to create ideas, but when people create ideas and hand it to me, I can execute it just the way it came to the person. And so based on that, you embrace who you are. So the next step is to go and settle down with yourself and ask yourself, am I a creative person or am I an imitator? Praise God. So as a pioneer, right, you must know what intrigues people, because Mita talks about my being able to grow my Instagram page, and it's a direct that growth is because I sat down and I understood myself and I said, okay, so I am a creative person. I love to create things, and if you want people to follow you, then you must be able to create things that intrigue people. So you put yourself in the shoe of your audience and say, okay, this thing I'm about to do. If I saw it online, will I be wowed by it? So every content I want to put out, I ask myself, will this thing wow me as a person? If it's not going to wow me, like, because most times we just put out content for the sake of putting out content, or to just say, oh, fulfill all righteousness that I've put out something today. But no, sit down and ask yourself questions. Like, remember I said that there's a lot of thinking that goes into being an entrepreneur. Now you must be able to ask yourself, this thing I'm doing, is it intriguing? Is it creative? Does it wow me? So when you're going on Instagram and you're watching videos, every time you watch a video, that as you're watching that video, it's like you're wowed. by the video, you know that the ability for someone to say wow when they see your video shows that that person is going to click a follow. Am I right? So most of the people I've followed on Instagram, after watching their videos, I was like, wow. So if your creativity does not inspire that wow in people, then just know that it's not, like, they're not going to follow you for that. Praise God. Okay, so as a copycat now, you need to understand what is trending, right? Because if you're imitating people, then you must be on your A game. You must be the first to understand what is trending in your industry. So if I want to be a copycat baker now, I'm not going to wait until the trend is over before I jump on the trend. So as much as it's possible, you must seek knowledge. Like, you must go online and check out, okay, what's trending now? What cake design is trending? If your hairstyle is, what hairstyle is trending now? I'm going to talk about Sherry's because I used to patronize her in Zaria, and she used to sell children's clothes, and I really loved her children's clothes because they were very unique, they were very trendy, and the best part of her children's clothes are the children will use them for years and they would still be new. So I don't know what informed her in her choice of in her choice of picking these clothes. But then I just realized that every clothes I've bought from her, like, my children will use and use and use, and I even pass it on to other children, and they will still be as new as when I bought it. And I'm not exaggerating. And of course, you know that those things are not cheap. Things that will last like that are not cheap. So there must be some level of intentionality in your choice of the product you're selling. So, am I making sense? Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the point I was trying to make is that you must go ahead, right, in that industry that you are, to understand that industry and to know what is trending in the industry. And you should be able to inform your customers to say, okay, this is what is trending in the industry, and these are the benefits of this thing that I'm bringing. Okay, so the next thing is to learn human behaviors towards your business and to use that to your advantage. So I, as a baker now, right, I must understand the way people interact with my product. So if the feedback you get from your customers would inform you, the feedback you get from your customers will inform you of, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so the feedback you get is, you must learn from your feedback, right? So most times as business owners, we're afraid of feedback. Like, you're not ready to hear, so what is the feedback from my customers? Because even when I started my business, I used to be very afraid of feedbacks because, sometimes feedbacks just make you feel like you're getting everything wrong. But we must learn from that feedback.
Yes.
When the customers come and tell you, the cake tasted this way, or this is how I feel about your product, they're not trying to destroy your business. They're trying to tell you what to improve on in your business. So when they give you this feedback, you are supposed to learn from the feedback and improve on that product that you're selling, right? So
Yeah.
we must use feedbacks as a tool to grow our business. We must use feedback and these feedbacks can be as simple as, this thing is too pricey. Because sometimes when customers say, oh, it's too pricey, like you just want to feel like, oh, what do you mean? This thing, like, it feels like it's an attack. But if a customer tells you that a product is too expensive, it's either there is a communication gap. You're not giving them the knowledge to understand the cost of production of that commodity, right? So there's a way you educate your customers that they will understand why that product is a particular price. And instead of feeling that, oh, this product is too expensive, they would understand that they can't afford that product at a particular time. I'm sure that there are so many products that we have planned that we're going to buy. It's just like the car that Sherry was talking about. She plans to buy the car. She hasn't bought the car now. She wouldn't say the car is too expensive because she believes that the car is worth it. So if a customer is saying your product is too expensive, it's because they do not understand the value of that product. Am I making any sense? Am I making any sense? Exactly.
Yes, you are.
So
Awesome.
I'm moving to what knowledge does for you. So the first thing that knowledge does for you is that knowledge excites you. So for me, if you notice, I had not been posting online for a very long time. Like I used to post a lot on Instagram and on social media, but I stopped posting for a very long time. And the reason is because I had lost my interest and my passion in what I was doing. And it's also something I want to state to us, that you must know that passion alone is not enough to run your business. You must have something that is greater than passion that motivates you. So that is why people can run 4 different businesses that are not related. Because if it was passion, then all the whole businesses should be related. But it's the reason why people can run like 4 different businesses that are not related and they will still run it successfully, because passion is not the only thing that you need to run a successful business. Okay, so the point I was trying to make is, I noticed that I had lost my passion for, I still want to bake, but I had lost my passion for baking. I just recently enrolled for a class, and in the course of learning, that passion came back. So sometimes it's not that you have lost your passion. It's not that you have lost the drive. It's just that you need to learn something new. The way God created us as humans is, you're not supposed to be stagnant. You're not supposed to keep doing things the same way over and over and over. A time will come where you know that you have to upgrade. So whenever you notice that, oh, there's this stagnation and this business is not growing, or it's time for you to learn something new. If you're doing the maths in your business and you're not seeing the figures that you want, it's time for you to learn something new. Because you can't be doing the same thing over and over again and expect that you're going to have a different result, right? You can't do the same thing over and over and think that you're going to get the same result. No, you have to upgrade. So whenever you feel that you're feeling stagnant, or this business is not giving me the fulfillment that I want, then it's time for you to learn something new, or enroll in a training, enroll in a class, go and see your mentor. So the next thing is that knowledge brings confidence. So if you're running a business and you don't have the right knowledge for that business, you're not going to be confident. My co-speaker yesterday talked about how she went to India to go and learn about skincare. Now, you might not have all the money it takes to go to India, but there's somebody in your in your neighborhood that is very good and that everybody is complimenting and talking about their products, then you should go to that person and go and learn. Sometimes we're looking up there and saying, oh, I want to be trained by who is trending. I think it's Vicky James that is trending. So tell us now, you're like, I'm saving up money so that I can be trained by Vicky James, or I'm saving up money so that Sweetness Cakes and can train me. If you cannot afford Sweetness Cakes, there's somebody in your neighborhood that is affordable, that you can afford. And at that level, you learn you learn what will give you the confidence to put your product out there so you can save up and be able to afford that person you want to afford. So business life is a gradual process and is a building. So at whatever level you are, there is something you can learn at that level. If you just say, oh no, I'm going to wait until I have this level of excellence or this amount of money before I go and train just in India or like train in the UK, then you're going to keep delaying yourself. It's little drops of water that make the ocean. So knowledge also improves your decision making. It helps you to make wise decisions for your business, because if you don't have the right knowledge to make these decisions for your business, then you're going to run your business to the ground. So good knowledge for, like, let's say now in the baking industry, we see the way prices are going up, and which was something that somebody stated now. Knowledge will help you know, okay, so what products, because we always say use the best of ingredients, but then you should be able to have the knowledge of, okay, which ingredients can I or what can I add to this that will reduce the cost of production and stage. If you don't have that knowledge, then you're going to be stuck, because while some people are finding out and understanding how to still reduce costs and produce a good product in these times, you don't know that, and so you just have to shut down the business, because without knowledge, it caps you when you don't have some certain levels of knowledge. For example, I just talked about the class that I just enrolled, and after enrolling in that class, I've been wanting to put out a class for a very long time, but I didn't have that confidence. And I know that you're like, but your Sweetness Cakes now, you should have confidence. But at every level, we all deal with the fact that there's imposter syndrome, there's, God, am I good enough at that level? Like, it's something that we all, as long as you're a human being, you would have to deal with some of all these insecurities where you're like, okay, so if I charge this amount, will people be willing to pay for this? Now, when you go for knowledge, it's like what Mrs. Flora said yesterday. By the time she came back from India, I'm sure that there was a confidence that came with that training that she had received. And when you receive that training now, because of the knowledge you have, you know that at this point now, I can charge this amount of money, right? So, and as you begin to charge an amount of money and people begin to pay, you begin to increase your fees, because let's assume you charge 100,000 naira for a training, and by the next time you're putting out the training, and you charge 100,000 naira, and then more people are paying. To reduce the amount of people, you have to increase the price. So that is what helps you to start increasing your price until you become in a class all by yourself. Yeah. So business skills that I'm rounding up now. Business skills that we must learn in 2025. We must learn communication. So as a business owner, you must learn how to communicate. You must learn how to communicate the value that your product offers. You must learn how to communicate the cost of your product. You must learn how to convince your customers to buy your product. And you must be able to communicate it in a courteous way, in a way that doesn't show you're a proud business owner, in a way that shows that you understand what they are going through. For example, now that prices are going up. You not be like, abeg, 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 if you're not going to buy, please just go. No, you would be able to learn how to communicate in a way that sets your business apart. Then the next thing we must learn is leadership. So as a business owner, you must understand how to be a leader, because if you must grow your business, you are going to be a leader. Just like we learned yesterday, I also started my business as I was the everything of the business. I was the baker, I was the cleaner, I was the decorator, I was everything. But as the business begins to grow, you understand that you have to employ staff, you have to bring in people that you're going to be working with. And if you don't learn leadership skills, then your staff, they're going to run that business down. So you must be able to know how to be firm, know how to put your foot down, and know how to structure your business in a way that is open and helps you to stay in profit, and also to ensure that the business is growing and the business is making income. So the next thing we are going to learn is time management, because for example, now as a baker, integrity is very important. So I don't know if bakers face this. It's mostly tailors that now, most tailors now, this is Christmas season. Some tailors are not going to deliver on their Christmas season, and we have some of them in this place today. So you must learn time management, because as a person of integrity, if you have promised your customer that this is going to be ready at a particular time, then you should be able to estimate that, okay, so it takes me, for example, me now, if I'm decorating a whipped cream cake, it takes me 30 minutes to an hour to decorate the whipped cream cake. So you must learn and understand the time it takes for you to deliver on your promise as a business owner. And so be able to manage your time so that you meet your customers at that time that you promised to meet them. Because if you don't do that, those customers would move to somebody else. So you must understand time management. You must understand how to deliver on your promise. There's something they even say in business, you must be able to under promise and over deliver. So you must over deliver in the quality of the product, and also in the timing that you said you're going to deliver the product. So you must also understand stress management as a business owner. You must be able to learn when to say no. I'm not taking up this job. If I take up this job, this is going to suffer. You must understand how to balance your work, your family, your faith, like every aspect of your life. You must understand, you must learn how to balance these things up. Then also you must understand emotional intelligence, because as business owners, sometimes you just, whatever comes to your mind, you just say it, or whatever it just comes to you, talk to your staff anyhow, you just do things anyhow. If you're going to grow a business, there's a cultured way to do things. There's a way to talk to your staff. There's a way to talk to your customers. If you want to retain these customers, if you're trying to grow the business, if you're trying to say, okay, this thing is not, I'm not trying to get customers who are going to buy what I'm selling today and then not return. You must learn how to be cautious, how to be smart and wise, and know the right things to say to your customers. You must learn how to show empathy, because like I said, if your customer cannot afford something, not to be like, I beg, if you cannot afford it, please just take your legs off these shoes. No, there must be a way to talk to, you must exhibit the fruit of the spirit to your customers. So moving on now, there are apps that you must learn as a business owner in 2025. For us to grow our business in 2025, we must learn these things. And it's the same thing that Mrs. Flora said. Your business has the capacity to do a lot of things. Most times we want to outsource a lot of things, and that is why your business can grow. So you're starting your business, but you're thinking of, oh, I want to employ somebody who is going to be my who creates posters for me, who records my videos. I tried this thing. When I started content creation, I got a videographer to record me. And after doing the sessions like twice and I paid, I knew that that was not sustainable. If this business is going to grow, then I must come up with a plan that is not going to choke the business, because all of the income you are making is going back to making videos and creating content. So you must think and equip yourself and learn and say, okay, so I must understand these apps. If it is posters, let's say now I'm putting out flyers for a training that I have. The guy that works for me charges, I think, 3,000 to 5,000 naira per flyer. Now that is something that I can afford, but some people here can't afford 3,000 to 5,000, let's say, every month for a flyer. You can learn how to use Canva. Canva is very easy. Download the app, go through the app, go scroll through the app. It's very easy to understand. There's nothing we can learn. So I've come to see that most times you'll be like, oh, I'm not a social media person. The reason why you're saying I'm not a social media person is because you don't understand it. Anything you understand, you'll be that person. Now, why would you even just say I'm not a social media person without trying out? At least try it out first before you know whether you are it or you are not, right? So everybody go and download Canva, go through Canva, understand how Canva works. It helps you to create designs and to put out your products out there. So if you want to grow and structure your business, you must be able every day to touch base with your customers. You must be able every month to touch base with your customers. At least a design that says Happy New Month, we're expecting to take your orders this month. A design that tells them what products you're selling. A design that tells them if there's something new you're including in your menu, if there's something you're changing. A design that just informs your customers of the value that you're creating, and it's something that will help you to touch base with your customers every day, monthly, quarterly. The next app that you must understand is YouCut. YouCut is very easy. That's why I used to do all my videos. Some people use CapCut. CapCut is a little more technical, and so I always say that if you're trying to learn something that's very difficult, it will discourage you. Why not start with the easy ones? Like for me now, I do not really understand how CapCut works, and that's what most Gen Zs use. So it still boils down to you understanding yourself and saying, okay, so I've tried CapCut. CapCut doesn't really work for me. I'm using YouCut. YouCut is very easy to understand. So I'm going to stick with YouCut and I'm going to use it to edit all of my videos. And you don't need an excellent, because sometimes we're saying, oh, I want to buy an iPhone first before I start creating content, or I want to buy, there are so many things that stands as barriers to the goals that we're setting for ourselves. But no, don't think in that way. Start with what you have, but know that what I'm starting with is not the end. Like, I have a goal and I'm looking at a goal that I'm working with. And so as I start with what I have, the aim is to make income so that I can afford the kind of phone that I want to use. So I've never allowed what I have at the moment to limit me. If you go on my Instagram and you scroll back, all the way back, you would see the way the picture quality have improved over the years. Now, it's you allowing yourself space for growth. Because if you keep saying, oh, no, I can't do it because my phone is not new, or because I don't have this space, you're going to be limiting yourself. So start with what you have. Use the app that you understand. Start with that app that you understand. Also download CapCut. Understand Instagram. If Instagram does not work for you, try Facebook, try Snapchat. I recently downloaded Snapchat. I had to delete it because I did not even understand anything that was going on there. But people are making sales on Snapchat. If somebody who ordered my cakes posted the cakes on Snapchat, and some her friends saw it and they ordered cakes from me. So it's you settling down. Some people have Snapchat, but all you do with the Snapchat is to be taking videos and posting of yourself. Meanwhile, you can make money on those apps. So understand how to make money on those apps. If it means paying for a class, because the Bible says, buy the truth and sell it not. So to get truth, to get knowledge, you must pay money. Sometimes you must pay money. So if it means you, like for you cut now that I'm saying, if you don't understand it, you can pay somebody that will help you to understand it. So you must learn invoice, because some of us, we don't even have an invoice for our product. So you just sell. Let's say you're selling plantain chips. You just sell the plantain chips. There's no record of how much you have made from selling the plantain chips. Some people don't even know that there is an online invoice app where you can actually just put in your data online. So it's like using an Excel spreadsheet for your product, but it's very simple. So if you don't really understand how Excel works, you can use an invoice app, and it helps you to track your sales, and also lets you know how much income you're making, or how much, or if you're running at a loss. Also, you must learn social media advertising. I never knew about social media advertising. I've never run ads until this, like some months ago. Like I was speaking with a friend, and the person advised me, he was like, run social media ads. For me, that was a game changer. I never knew people are making money from social media ads. So if you have a business, understand how social media ads work. There's a lot of money from advertising. It's going to help you make followers. It's also going to help you make sales. I said the secret to selling every day is advertising. And so if you can't show up every day and be saying, buy my product on WhatsApp, you can spare money and use it for social media advertising. You can actually pay for a social media ad class, so that you don't even need to pay anybody to run your ads for you. You can run your ads by yourself, and you get the kind of reach that you want, and you get the kind of income that you want. So you see, it still boils down to knowledge. I didn't know about social media. I used to hear a lot about it, but I never knew about social media ads until somebody told me about it, and I was like, okay, I'm open. So even as you're learning, you must be open to what you're learning. Because for me, I had been hearing about social media ads. In fact, my husband has been making a lot of money from social media ads, and he'll be telling me, run ads, run ads. I'm like, no, I have a lot of followers, so I don't need to run ads. But then when you run ads, it's a totally different game. So you're making money from your followers, and then you're making money from it helps you to reach new people. So this is something you should learn. If there's not, in fact, this social media advertising, if you do not take anything from this class, just go and study social media advertising, then ChatGPT. Learn how AI works, learn how ChatGPT works. So for me too, I don't know how to create captions. You already know, Steph, at a point in class, I was laughing. So you know that I'm not a talker. I don't like to talk. So because I don't like to talk, it also shows even in my captions for my cakes. But then I was also talking with somebody, and the person said, you can go on ChatGPT and GPT, and it would give you quotes. Like, so if you make let's assume I made a Barbie cake, I can actually go on ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT, I made a Barbie cake, I need captions for Instagram, and enter. And it's going to bring up different captions for you. You can say, I want it playful. Like, so you'll be telling ChatGPT what you want, and it will be giving you the feedback, and then it will be helping you to post. Now, what that does for you is, an app has taken away the burden of trying to create captions. So it even helps your creativity, because I'm not thinking of caption. I know that my job is just to decorate the cake. Once I'm done decorating the cake, I can go and get the caption, and then I just post the caption. So I hope with all these few points of mine, I've been able to convince us that wisdom and knowledge and understanding is the principal thing and that we should seek it for 2025.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I know this is another 5 star. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll just ask you a few questions. If you have a question, just raise your hand and we'll attend to you. Anybody? Okay, as they are coming up with their questions, let me ask first. I noticed that you talking about ads now. You discovered how amazing the world is when you run your ads and all of these things. And I really want you to hammer on this because this is also my experience. When anytime we run ads, we tend to have totally different people coming in, and they are the people that really want what you're offering, not just the people that came because they like you. In this, how will you really hammer on this? How will you advise business owners to budget for advert? Let me hammer on budgeting first of all for the advert itself.
Okay. So like I said, right, running ads was a game changer for me. And I saw how that you can budget like 70K and you can make like 500, 1M, 2M, like it depends on whatever products that you're selling. So I would say that see ads as an investment because business is you're using money to make money. There's no way you can escape. At a point in your business, when you want to scale, you must use money to scale. So
Yeah.
I always say that when you make money from a business, don't think of, oh, I want to quickly go and buy this shoe that is trending, or I want to buy this hair that is trending. No, think of that business first. Invest back into that thing that is making income for you before trying to live your lifestyle. So every business must have a budget for advertising. If Coca-Cola has a budget for advertising, if all these top brands, they have budget for advertising, what makes you think that your small business that's just trying to grow does not need a budget for advertising? So you must budget for advertising.
Thank you so much. Who is coming up next? Just unmute yourself and talk.
Okay, good evening. Thank you so much, ma'am. My question is, majorly most of, should I say most of what you touched are like businesses that are like, should I say, are tangible, businesses that have services that are tangible, like. But then, how would you advise someone like me that has as an entrepreneur, that has a business that is not that does not have tangible services, they are intangible. Like I'm a voiceover artist and I'm an aspiring compere. I've been in voiceover industry like 4 years now. So how best can I put myself out there, position myself out there to get the best of my business and my brand? Because most of the examples are just should I say majorly buttressing on businesses like yours that have
That's products and not services. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so I would say that collaboration is very, very important in any business. And so I don't know, I'm not in the line of your work, but I know that for every business, there's always like a chain. So if you're a voiceover artist, then I don't know how it operates in Nigeria, but I know that abroad, like you can do voiceover for cartoons, movies. Like I'm just thinking of like growing up, those were the things that I know that voiceover artists work with. So if you are in a niche, you must be able to understand all the other players in that industry, and you should be able to know how to put yourself in that space. Where are you based? Where are you based? What part of the country are you based
Okay,
in?
I'm student in that
What?
area. I'm currently in Abuja.
You're currently in
I'm student in
Abuja.
Zaria. I'm currently
Oh,
in
you're in
Abuja, yes.
Zaria. Okay. Oh, okay. So your niche, what you're into, does not have Zaria is limiting, right? So it's not something that we can say, oh, this person is going to blow in Zaria. So you must be able to look beyond Zaria. Look into, so I like the idea of you being in Abuja. Look into Abuja, look into Lagos, and begin to collaborate. There are many people who are in that same niche and industry that you are in, which takes us back to the first assignment that I said, that whatever industry you want to play in, you must be able to go and know those are ahead. Those that there are a lot of, I'm sure you know, if you check on Google self, you find voiceover artists in Abuja. You find, I don't know if you find in Zaria, but you find in Abuja, you find in Lagos. Find a way to reach out to them. We must be able to, okay, another skill I forgot that we must learn is networking. You should be able to network. In 2025, we should be able to network. You should be able to know how to start conversations, how to engage people, how to meet people, you should be bold enough to ask questions, just like you opening your mouth now. This is a skill that some people don't even have. There are a lot of people that will have questions here today that will not open their mouth and ask those questions. So this is a commendable skill. You should be able to ask questions. You should be able to go on Instagram and check for voiceover artists, the ones that are doing well. You should be able to reach out to them in their inbox and ask them, so if I want to succeed in this industry, what do I do? You get, because it's a unique industry and is a unique niche, but I know that there are people in that industry that are making money. So because I'm not in the industry, I can only tell you ways that you can be able to follow people who are already in it, find a community of people who are already in that industry, and find a way to infuse yourself in that community. And somehow you find how to make income from the community.
Okay, ma.
Have I
Thank you.
answered your question?
Yes, very well, ma. Thank you.
You're welcome.